What's up, family? What's good? What's good? Shit. Johnny Clyde here. Story time. You know, ever since um ever since the Cat Williams interview, I kind of rediscovered Club Shay Shay. I'm going back watching old interviews. I watched the old Steve Harvey interview. I watched a couple of others. And right now, they got a brother. He was interviewing a brother named Country Wayne. I didn't know who Country Wayne was till I seen him on Club Shay Shay just now. But I did see some of his work on YouTube because he does these skits, and they're really, really good. Some of them funny, some of them they're really good, really well acted. But on his channel, he got a lot of them. But he's a really smooth ass, country ass brother. He's a comedian and a producer. You should go watch that Club Shay Shay interview with him on there. But one of the things he said as it relates to me was about how, see, he's kind of a ladies' man, his own self, right? And he said that there was a time in his life when high society women thought of him as somebody to cheat with. Not to be with, but to cheat with. They didn't want him for nothing but that one thing. And I got to thinking about myself when I was, you know, maybe about a year, maybe year and a half in Syracuse, right? Now, me and my light-skinned woman named Nisi, we was on an off period because we did about a year straight. Then we went on and off a bunch of times, so we was off. So I'm still working in the supermarket. I'm still looking at all the beauty and the scenery and all the big butts and the wide hips and the long legs and all the rest of it. I'm looking. I'm doing my thing. I'm dating here and there. But then it dawned on me. I started dating some really successful women with my little self. I'm like, God damn. I didn't realize that up until that point, I didn't realize that the only thing they wanted from me was because I fucked the brakes off of them. And I would too. So every once in a while, I would try to get one of them to take me seriously. And they couldn't do it. I came to some really, really tough, truths that I had to swallow. I didn't really get emotional about it. I just kind of understood. First, I work in the supermarket. I went at all tops. I was making $40,000 in the supermarket. I had a side hustle here and a side hustle there, but about 40K a year, right? And what else? I'm short. So in a lot of people's minds, that's two strikes. A lot of women's minds, that's two strikes. But I had some shit going for me. I was a community man. I was in the public eye a lot. I dressed real well. I spoke well. I took care of myself. I worked in the community. That was the most important thing. Yes, most importantly, I worked in the community because, I had my drill team. Johnny Clyde, what is the drill team? The drill team is this. I would take a bunch of teenagers and we would do drill shows with real fancy cadence at community events. We was like doing a combination of step and FOI drill team mixed together. Anyway, I had that shit going for me. And that put me in places where I otherwise might not have gone. Community events, fundraisers, festivals and shit like that, where there'd be a lot of, successful black women, and they wanted to meet me because I was doing work with these young children and these young teenagers and keeping them out of trouble and all of that shit. And every once in a while, one of them highfalutin broads would want to get Johnny Clyde some pussy. And just know, I was living alone. I was working a lot. If somebody want to give me some pussy, it's like saying somebody want to give me a free meal. I'm taking it. And then they'll want to give me some more pussy. And the next thing you know, I got like a small team of women that like to get with me from time to time, get aired out, and go about their business. And that's what my man Country Wayne said was happening with him. But that definitely was happening with me. And every once in a while, I would try to get somebody to take me seriously. Every once in a while, I would get somebody to try to take me seriously. But the good women, they thought I was a fucked up bad boy and a whoremonger or something. And the bad women, they thought I was just too square and too good. And they didn't want to be with no square-ass dude because they wasn't good their own self either. So I was kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. You know what I mean? God damn. So I just walked the fine line. And in order to find somebody that I could goddamn be with, in order to finally find somebody that I could be with, I had to get somebody that knew nothing about me other than what, I told them. They didn't get to see me go on a bunch of dates and all that. I told them about that, but I didn't have to experience that. They didn't know none of these people. It was all strangers to them. And I went online to a dating site and I got me a woman from the Caribbean. It was kind of a passport bro in reverse type shit. In other words, she came here. And we've been together for the last 13 years now, so I did good. I mean, we have our ups and downs, but Johnny Clyde doing good right now with that. But back then, I was the nigga that they just wanted to come over, fuck, and leave. Every once in a while, they'll bring me something to eat. They'll buy me shit. They'll keep me happy. If I needed $100, which I never did, but if I needed $100, I needed $200, one of them would just give it to me. I had one woman, she got a settlement, and she dropped off $800 at my house. I was like, what am I supposed to do with that motherfucker? She said, just hold it for me. Just hold it for me. 6 or 7 months later, it was still there in a jar on the dresser. And she never asked for it back. Never mentioned it, never asked for it back. I asked my boy what to do. He said, yo, she giving it to you. She just don't know how. So it's yours. Spend it, you stupid motherfucker. So there you go. Now that was honestly a woman that I think if I'd have pressed, I probably could have made her take me seriously. But at the end of the day, she didn't. She was still hooked in with her kid's father. He was her weed connect, and she was the weed lady. And they had too much history, and I couldn't overcome that. So that's what happened with that one. But she really liked Johnny Clyde, but another one that just couldn't take me seriously. So if you find yourself in a situation like that, to wrap all this up, if you find yourself being used like that, you're going to have to figure out some kind of way to get with somebody who knows absolutely nothing about you. And you have to, I don't want to say reinvent yourself to that person, but you got to be a better version of yourself to that person. You might have to do like I did. You might have to go offshore. But hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But that's how they treat you sometimes. That's what they was doing to me when I got to Syracuse. And I went, eventually I had to go online and find myself a wife. I mean, what the fuck? And there was times when like a bunch of married women do that. I had like a married girlfriend for like 2 years. Used to come see Johnny Clyde every 2 weeks. Don't get it twisted. Her husband made 2.5 times the money I made. But he had a problem. His problem was he liked thoughts and crackhead bitches. He was always down in the hood fucking around. And he smoked a little crack, I think. I think he was an undercoat, a low-key crackhead. That was a functioning crackhead. That's what I think it was. Because I had a brother, a friend of mine, really, really close friend of mine. That was almost like, that was as close to a brother without being a brother as you could get. He knew the guy because they traveled in the same circles. So he knew my married girlfriend's husband. Nigga name was Leonard. And so he said, yeah, I know him. He be down there doing so and so and so and so with Shanika and them. That's why his wife doing what she doing with you. And blah, 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 blah. I'm like, so there was another one. Wouldn't take me seriously. She wasn't going to leave him. He made a bunch of money. He was an old Air Force guy. She worked in a urology clinic. Listen, here's the joke. If you're out there, right, and you're single and you're dating and you like nurses, try to get you a nurse from a urology clinic. Just saying. She had the hookup. She had the hookup. She used to bring me Levitra, Cialis, and Viagra. I obviously didn't need the shit, but hey, it was fun. It was fun using it. Try to get you a urology clinic nurse. They bring good samples. Anyway, she made more money than me too, but she wasn't going to leave her husband. And at the time, I didn't really want her to leave her husband. Her whole family knew I was her boyfriend. Everybody in Syracuse knew that was my girlfriend because she come in the supermarket every day at about 4:30. That's how we met. And she would meet me at my house, I think every Tuesday night. Around 5, she would come over. Because Leonard was, I don't know what the fuck Leonard was. But I think he was at work or somewhere. But she, every Thursday, she would be at my house for like 2 years. I had other girlfriends who wanted me to change that routine, but I couldn't do that. That was, me and Mrs. Jones. Yeah, man. But she couldn't do nothing with my black ass. She couldn't do nothing with me. She had to go ahead. They moved to Atlanta in early 2004. They moved to Atlanta. So that was sad. Late 2004. Yep. She came back to Syracuse once or twice and hung out with me. But eventually, we had to go our separate ways and do what grown people do. Put away childish things. But that was no. Hey, I'm telling you, you'll find yourself being bounced around like that. And that shit, it's fun for a while, but it get old. Because if you get like me, you want some stability in that regard. You start wanting yourself a real wife, a real woman, somebody you can depend on and build with. That part. You know what I mean? All jokes aside, that's what the fuck you want. And all that hoe hopping you doing, you ain't gonna get that. You got to give stability a try. And if it don't work out, like heaven forbid me and something should happen with my wife, I ain't going back to, my tried and true method of dating when I want to and not dating when I don't want to. I fuck when I want to and I don't when I don't want to. Like that. Because by then I've been in every scenario, and by then I don't want to be, henpecked or told what to do by anybody. I feel like, at the age I'm at now, Johnny Clyde gonna hang up his cape if something happened here. I'm not even gonna. Well, actually, I hung up my cape. I'm not going to dust the motherfucker off and get back out there. No. Nah. I'm going to build this fucking YouTube channel and keep coming back here telling y'all stories and helping y'all navigate with these crazy ass situations. So, but that's another type of woman. Another type of woman, or another type of woman. The type of woman that just want to keep you as a fuck buddy, but never take you seriously. You can have 3 or 4 of them. Now, it's okay if you don't want to be taken seriously, but if you're really looking for something and you're doing this kind of shit, no, you're gonna have to pause and change your whole outlook. Step your game up and look totally in a different place for some lifelong companionship. All right? So, subscribe to the goddamn channel. I got more goddamn knowledge than I know what to do with. And I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to make it simple, and I'm going to try to make you chuckle a little bit. But subscribe to the goddamn channel, would you please? Like my shit, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Johnny Clyde. Peace.